Hey, Chem 1030 students. I'm going to talk about your overview for week 2. I'm going to focus specifically on what you're doing for lecture. Professor Molish will tell to you more about what you're doing for lab, although you'll see both in this eLearn shell. Just a reminder here on your login page for eLearn, in the upper right-hand corner, look for orange dots. That tells you if you have new mail, new discussion board post, replies to your post, or new news items that you need to take a look at. I'm going to click in our class. You're either CO1 or CO2. So if you're in CO2, it's going to say CO2 up here. Take a look at the new news items, any new news items. Once you've finished with a news item, if you're finished looking at it, you've done all this, you can click the X to get rid of it. It doesn't delete it. It just gets it off your home page so you can focus on the new stuff. If you ever want to get a news item back, go to the announcements tool and it will show you all of the ones you dismissed. So if I scroll down here, you see that I dismissed this quick starter and I can use the drop down to bring it back to my home page. So that's just a way to keep that home page tidy so that you can focus on the new stuff. If I scroll all the way down here to the bottom below our course announcements, I see the college-wide policies. Let me remind you that if you need accommodations, make sure that you have contacted the Access Center to get your accommodations. They have to send me and Professor Molish an email listing what your accommodations are. So make sure that you contact them. All right. Each week, you're essentially going to go to content and you're going to look at what is due that week. Again, any news items might be there on the first page. You've already been through all of these here at the top. We're in Module 1, Chapter 1, and typically it's going to open up where you left it. So one trick is you can simply, like if you were on week 1 looking at the lab stuff, you can just continue going forward from here. But over here on the left, keep an eye on the submodules. Week 1 overview, all of these are submodules in week 1. And I can even drill down to my lecture assignments for Chapter 1. Most of you should be done with this, but not all of you are done with this. Remember, we extended the due date to this weekend, but you also have Chapter 2. So make sure you're coming back here and finishing up your lecture material. And again, as you're going through this, you can just use this upper right-hand corner to go to the next page and the next page and the next page. But sometimes you do have to back out so that you can get a bigger picture. So up here on the top, we saw that I'm in week 1 of Module 1, and I am currently in the lecture. So finish up that Chapter 1 material. All right. Essentially what you want to do, and let's do it for week 2. We are beginning week 2. You do have to finish up week 1, but you also have to do week 2. It is due Saturday. Your lecture material is always due Saturday. So here I am on week 2. I see an overview. That's where you're seeing this video here in the overview. It's linked right below the written overview. There's your lecture material. There's your lab material. Again, Professor Molish is going to focus on the lab material. I'm going to focus on the lecture material. So here I am in Module 1, Week 2, lecture material. So I've clicked on lecture. There is a pre-lecture assignment. There is the lecture notes and videos. There is a post-lecture assignment and a post-lecture adaptive follow-up assignment. And I do see all of those listed over here on the left. And I see that pre-lecture assignment here, but I also can drill down and focus on it here in case there's more information. The pre-lecture assignment is meant to be opened immediately at the beginning of the week after you've skimmed the chapter. So you skim the textbook Chapter 2. You're not trying to memorize anything or learn anything or practice anything. You're just getting that material through your head once quickly. As you're working on the pre-lecture assignment, it's at Pearson. You can go look at the textbook for particular questions if you're struggling. You do get repeated attempts, except for on multiple choice ones, you get a limited number of attempts. And for the most part, you should be getting close to 100% on these because you can go look up the answers. If you get stuck on one and you're just not sure, post it on our discussion board up here in communication discussions. There's a discussion board where you can copy and paste questions from the assignments and post them up there. Once you've done the pre-lecture assignment, then you're going to go to the lecture material, all right, which includes the guided notes, slides, and overview. So you're working through the material carefully now and taking notes and learning it. If I click on this guided notes, slides, and lecture videos, if I click on just the lecture videos, we see them here. It's a submodule. If I click on, chapter 2 lecture videos, it's going to bring up just those, and there's a little bit of a description for each. And that way, if you get stuck on a question in Pearson, you can see maybe more clearly which lecture video do I need to go back and review. Once you finish the pre-lecture assignment and the post-lecture assignment at Pearson, if you did really well on both of those, you will not have to do the adaptive follow-up. But if you struggled a little bit and made a slightly lower score on either of those, Pearson is going to give you that post-lecture adaptive follow-up assignment. It's going to open it up for you and require you to take it to help confirm some things that you maybe struggled with during the first two assignments. If you do really well on the first two assignments, this does not ever open up for you, and it just assigns you a grade of 100% automatically. So that's something that you can shoot for. All right. Again, as you go to Pearson, all of these assignments are due on September 2nd. I'll pull up my calendar. September 2nd is Saturday evening, and that's your lecture material. So hopefully that helps. Oh, let me show you this one more time. If I get stuck on something, I can go to the discussion board up here under communication. Ooh, it looks like there is a post in this section from Professor Molish. This tells me I've got new posts that I haven't read yet. And so you're welcome to post in here. If you've got lab questions, there is a lab question board. And so you can copy and paste from the assignment. Go ahead and list what assignment it is in the subject so that I can help so that when I go to answer it, I can find it more quickly because it's all about me. It's not about you, it's about me. This helps me find it much more quickly. And if you actually paste this question in there, that gives me a lot more places to start, and it shortens the time that I'm going to have to go look it up. So that helps me if you go ahead and paste it in there. I hope this helps. Finish up chapter 1 just as soon as you can. Get your chapter 2 done by Saturday night. If you need to contact me, it's not up there yet, but I'm going to be putting up a news item and sending you guys a message about contacting me if we need to set up a time we can talk to each other and walk through things. Otherwise, my main means of communication with you is going to be on this discussion board. So I hope that helps. Hang in there, guys. Week 2, you got this. We can do this.